See, at one of my recent talks, one lady said, I have understood everything you are saying, but I have a big difficulty in accepting that everything is God's will, which is actually the foundation of the teaching. And she gave an example. She said that, for example, a rape being committed, I cannot believe that that is God's will. Now, the thing is that what one means by God's will is not an individual God with a human form sitting somewhere, but some people take it that way because their understanding is that the God is an individual who's passing judgment on people. But the God being referred to is the source from which everything comes, good and bad. The source from which Mother Teresa came and the source from which Hitler came. Because if everything is not God's will or the will of the source, then whose will is it? That means, are there two sources? Because if it cannot be, an event cannot be God's will, it is someone else's will. So the Advaita perspective is all there is the will of the source, the will of consciousness. So any happening happens because it is God's will. Now, for her to say that she cannot accept God's will, that is also God's will. But I cannot tell her that, because that's one step further. You see, the first task is to accept God's will. Now, the other thing, rape is one example, but let's take something which is even closer to all of us and which my teacher used to mention a lot of times. Handicapped children. Why did God create handicapped children? What harm have they done and to whom? So the answer, as my teacher would say, is astonishingly simple. God created handicapped children because God created healthy children. But nobody asks, why did God create healthy children? So, duality, which is good and bad, left and right, up and down, front and back, black and white, rich and poor, healthy children and handicapped children, is the mechanism of the functioning of daily living.